Oh my God, I just totally got catfished. He looks absolutely nothing like his picture.
So I found out the guy that I've been dating is married with kids. His wife just reached out to me.
Welcome to the meat market. The single scene is a slaughterhouse and we are here to devour it. We are your hosts. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Jess.
And today our prime selection is Sizzling Steve. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sizzling.
Tell us about yourself. What do you do? What are your hobbies? What are you looking for? Spill the juice.
All right. Sorry. So I work for a software company. Been there about 12 years now. It's kind of hard to explain if you're not in the industry, but we have programs that kind of help manage them and do some enablement with some of our internal sales folks. But
what are your hobbies?
Hobbies. Big sporting event fan. A lot of concerts, food festivals. Obviously, I like to eat.
And you're a tall guy. How tall are you?
Barefoot. Last time I measured myself, I was 6'6.5".
Oh, you know what they say about tall guys. Long jeans.
What are they?
I think I got that wrong. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
So yeah, big sporting event, different food festivals, concerts, road trips. Anytime I can get out of town, especially during the summer. Pretty like going to the gym, good stress relief, people watching.
And what are you looking for? Are you looking for something serious? Marriage, kids?
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, definitely would like to, be in something that's, real and genuine. As far as the kids goes, at my age, obviously it's the window's getting a little bit, it's not closed, but it's not wide open like it used to be. So if it happens, great. If not.
I was going to ask, is that because you like to date women who are older and can't have kids? Or is it because at your age, you personally don't want to have kids?
Well, no, part of it is, I want to be able to do a lot of the same things my dad did with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was in Little League, he caught me. I'd play basketball with him, do stuff like that. I don't want to be that old man
that can't do any of the fun stuff.
Yeah, that's showing up at my kid's high school graduation, yet I have no idea where I am.
Rolling up, they see me rolling.
Exactly.
Little Timmy's dad is lost again. Stop taking his dementia meds.
But I feel like you're still young enough. I mean, you have a kid in the next few years and you'd...
Yeah, I know. It's like, again, like the window's not closed, but it's also, there's...
So you need to get a crack in. Your biological clock is
Do you find yourself dating younger? Like, do you date younger women who really want kids?
Typically, like the last handful of years, it's actually my last girlfriend was a couple years older than me.
Okay.
But typically they're within 5 years.
Okay.
That's refreshing because I know a lot of guys here date way younger.
Yes.
I've gone out with women that are way younger, but like once or twice. Like it's nothing that went anywhere.
I remember when I was like 29, I dated this one guy and he was in his 40s. And he was like, yeah, you're way too old for me because I typically date early 20s because by the time you have a relationship and, you get engaged and then if you want kids, you'll be in your early 30s. That's too old for me. Whoa.
Dang. Wow. All right.
And he was like in his 40s. Anyways.
I mean, when I was, in my early 20s, I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of a cougar phase.
Did you?
I worked at a bar. We had an older crowd. So it was like, that's what I was around all the time.
Blue Martini. Where'd you work?
It's not even
Wasn't
here anymore.
Wasn't that the one? That was the
Barcelona's.
Barcelona's was
Blue Martini
the cougar
was still.
But Blue Martini was a cougar bar, at least
like,
at one point. Is it still open?
Yeah, actually it is. But now they're not cougars. They're just peers.
No!
It's like, we went to high school together. All right.
I will say though that the older women are crazier. Like when I was in my early 20s, we did a segment for My Dating Place on Fox TV. Do you remember that show? It was like showcasing all the singles around town. And they did a segment, kittens versus cougars. Aww. And I was one of the kittens. And they filmed us with a crew. And we were very tame. But then the cougars, you saw the episode and they were all making out with dudes, like dry humping them at the bars. I'm like,
they are. Well, they say like your 40s are your sexual prime as women.
Yeah.
Like women are in their sexual prime in their 40s. And so like that, like the cougars, I have actually a couple of friends who are self-proclaimed cougars and they're wild. Like they're wild. And like, it's
called cougar for a reason.
It's crazy. Dang.
Well, let's get marinating. Today's topic is what not to do or say on a first date. So when I was single, on so many first dates, guys would tell me that I need a boob job. I heard that multiple times. Oh, you're really pretty and all, but you should probably invest in the surgery, or you need bigger boobs. I had a guy tell me I needed to dye my hair platinum. I had a guy tell me I needed to get hair extensions. I had a guy say, yeah, when I first met you, you look like a stripper. But now on this date, you look like someone I could bring home to my mother. And I was like, wait, what? I look like a stripper? He's like, oh, absolutely not. You could never be a stripper. Strippers don't have this, and they don't have this, and they don't have this. And he's just grabbing all my flabby parts. And he was surprised there was no second date. He invited me to go on a yacht with him. And he's like, no strippers allowed. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, yeah, no.
Not happening.
Yeah. So anyways, what about some of your disastrous first dates?
Oh, I had a guy ask me for money on a first date before.
How much?
You know what? I'm not sure exactly how much he
was
needed.
it like $5 for coffee? Or
no, he didn't ask for an amount. He just said he was short on his rent, and could I help him out?
And he asked you to pay his rent on the first date,
and just to help him out. I don't know if he needed me to pay the entire rent or if he just needed part of it. I kind of froze, and I was like, that question makes me very uncomfortable. And then we didn't talk about it again. And then a few weeks later, he asked me for money again. And this time he asked me for an amount. So
a specific amount.
So,
did you give it to him?
I helped a guy out.
What?
Yeah. He paid me back.
Did he pay you back in
He paid me back. He paid me back in cash. He paid me back in cash.
Whoa, wow.
It didn't. That relationship didn't last long. That relationship did not last very long. But no, we're square. We're good.
It's a difficult starting point.
He got caught up. Yeah. I discovered that loan shark, Jess, is not a very nice person.
What was the VIG? Did I get that right? Do they call it a VIG? Like when you put interest points on it?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not in finance.
I've seen some Sopranos.
So what about you? We heard that you went on a first date where you were literally stabbed in the back. Can you tell us about that? Sounds like a pretty bad date.
So no, this is in no way, shape, or form the fault of the girl that I was with. She's actually a sweetheart, like generally a good person. But yeah, it was right after things kind of reopened after COVID. Bars are still like half capacity, that kind of situation where you can only sit down at a table, can't get up, no socializing. But yeah, we went to a few different spots. End of the night, she was trying to get in her move her car. I'm like, no, you're not touching your car. We're right in Old Town. We're across the street from Grapevine. So as we're kind of going through that debate, eventually she's like, okay, fine, I won't move my car. I was like, look, I'll pick you up in the morning. I'll take you to your car. She said, well, there's a ticket. Like, I'll pay the ticket. I don't care. You're not touching it. We've been drinking. So as we finally settle on that, I never saw the person coming. I felt like I got slapped on the back, spun around, punched the guy. Like I didn't get a whole lot on it, but he stumbles back. Next thing I know, the guy's holding a knife, mumbling something. I think he's like, oh my God, I can't believe I stabbed this guy. I'm like, wait, what? So I reach back, got blood all over my hand. I'm like, holy shit, I just got stabbed. It's kind of an odd feeling.
Did he just run away?
Yeah, he just kind of
What
ran
did the
off.
girl do?
She was kind of like, in kind of panic mode, understandably so.
Yeah.
I couldn't dial 911 on my phone because my hand was too bloody, so I couldn't pull it up. I didn't have the facial recognition at the time. So I'm like, Steph, I need you to calm down and call 911. She's screaming, calm down, call 911. Eventually they show up and they kind of haul me off. I spent a couple days in the hospital. But
that's crazy.
Oh my God, that is crazy.
Talk about a crazy date. Did you go out on a date with her again?
We met up once, but no, again, there just was something missing there. Like, again, great girl, generally a good person.
You were like, thank you, universe. You didn't actually have to stab me to let me know that this date wasn't going anywhere, but here we are.
Oh yeah. But here we are. Like we used to joke, my street cred went way up, and
that's crazy.
Do a little fishing on the social media. I don't think I should be alone tonight.
So we always complain about how dating sucks for women and how bad guys are, but are women just as bad? Like, how is it dating from a guy's perspective?
Yeah, just, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. It's same thing, just different take. I don't know how many times I've been out where somebody will start telling a story. and about, some horrible experience with some guy. What's number one? First date. I really don't want to hear
I don't
it.
think you should be talking about either your exes or terrible dates on a first date. Like,
it's one thing if it's funny.
Yes.
It's like, oh yeah, a guy showed up and something stupid and silly happened. That's fine.
I agree. Like, who wants to spend a first date listening to the other person slam other people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, don't you have anything positive to talk about? Like, yeah, no.
But then this is like, I'll start to hear the story. I'm like, wait a minute, I've heard this before, but from the other side. Turns out it's a friend of mine.
Oh my God.
So were the two stories similar, or could you tell that?
There's definitely some pretty stark differences.
Did you realize that your friend dated this person before you went out with her?
Well, dated or hooked up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more, again, you probably get you get a different story depending on who you ask.
That's true.
And the truth is somewhere in between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a handful of those.
Are these girls that you knew that either hooked up or dated friends, or were they strangers that you met online and they just happened
a few times,
and they just happened to have
both
dated? Okay,
there's been both.
Okay,
interesting. I get the whole Scottsdale area.
It's small.
It's a small
as big as the Phoenix area. It's kind of small.
It's small. It's a small world.
But yeah, no, then that's a big one, and the constant talking about exes.
Oh. We were just talking about this on another episode. If that's a deal breaker or not.
Maybe mention it once. It's like, oh, that's fine. But then when it's time
when they go
and
on
time
and on,
and time again, that's another big one. Or
have you ever used an emergency excuse?
I
got a text or a phone call to leave the date because it's going that bad.
No, I'll suffer.
That's hilarious. I've never done it either. Have you done it?
No, but I have sent a text to a friend and been like, oh my God, save me. This is absolutely miserable. And she responded.
So you have done it.
But I wasn't looking for an excuse to leave. I was just venting. And then she responded and my phone lit up and he saw the whole text thread and the response.
No.
Do you have a huge font where somebody can read it from 10 yards away?
The old lady font. But so there was no second date. I mean, it was a blessing in disguise because it was miserable. But no, I haven't been like, oh, I need to go.
Call me. Yeah. Call me and say there's an emergency so I can get out of here. I have been on dates
though where you're so bored, you're just constantly thinking, how can I get out of this? How can I get out of this? And this is why I guess I hated going to dinner when I was single because it's so long and drawn out. And
that's why I don't do dinners as a first date. Really ever, because of that reason. And that's why I don't date a lot, because it's like the thought of having to sit there with someone who is not going to go somewhere.
So what do you do? A guy asks you out. Do you prefer coffee, drinks?
Yes, coffee.
Something quick and easy?
I'm a coffee, or I'm
what about happy hour?
Maybe happy hour. I just I feel like it's too easy. Drinks and dinner is too easy. Men don't plan dates anymore the way that they used to plan dates. I just feel like happy hour or dinner is such an easy cop out. Why can't we go do something that doesn't involve drinking alcohol or eating food? Can't we go hiking or go for take the dogs for a walk? Or can we you know what I mean? Isn't there something else we can do?
There's the one thing reason I like the happy hour setup is it lets you know if you want to have a second one.
And that's why I like coffee. So I guess coffee is sort of my equivalent to happy hour.
Yeah, it's because in the second one, all right, then we do something a little more elaborate, a little more with involves some planning.
Yes.
Whether it's a game or a comedy show or whatever.
I feel like I don't opt for happy hour because I'm typically not free during hours of happy hour, especially during the week. So it's a happy hour is hard for me to agree to because I'm normally working during happy hour.
I've even done this a handful of times. It's worked out okay. A quick lunch during the week.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey, I know you're running around. Do you have a window between 12 and 1?
Yes.
Let's meet up, grab a quick bite. If we want to see each other again, great. If not,
I would rather. I think that's better than dinners. I don't do dinner.
Well, there's a company called Just Lunch, and that's probably why they created that company, Just Lunch, because it's
Is it a dating? Is it like a dating?
Isn't it an old school dating agency?
Yeah, actually, I think a friend of mine runs it out of Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, wow. She's
so it's still going.
It's some either that or some variation of it.
Huh.
So,
would you have any other questions for sizzling Steve over here?
I don't. Steve, got any other bad dates? Any other crazy stories?
I got yelled at one time.
What? What were you doing, bad boy?
Well, I did not want
to.
Who's been a naughty boy?
Like, you better knock it off up there, mister.
Who's been a bad boy? Bend over.
I picked a girl up, dropped her off, took her back home, and then it was the end of the night. I'm like, all right, have a good night. And she calls me as I'm on my way home and starts screaming and yelling at me because I didn't try to have sex with her.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. She was all offended. He didn't make the moves on me. Am I not good enough? You were probably trying to be a gentleman.
Well, I mean, that, also, I just, there wasn't going to be a second date. So,
oh, how?
How
fun. Yeah,
Wow.
I had a girl ask me to pick up another guy for her one time.
Wow,
that's
classy.
Crazy.
That was lovely.
That was lovely.
And then she came back begging me to take her out again, a month later.
Wow.
And I was just like, this is too comical. No, it's not happening.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Steve. For any of you sexy singles out there that want to go on a date with Sizzling Steve, please send us a DM to our Facebook or Instagram at Meat Market Podcast. And don't forget to like and follow us as well. Thank you to our sponsor, AZ Prime Property Management, for all your superior property management and rental needs. Please like them on Facebook and Instagram, AZ Prime Property Management, because without them, we wouldn't be here. See you next week at the Meat Market.